My oldest brother is gay. Up until 2015, he wasn't legally able to get married. That's the year that gay marriage became legal in the US. It took 40 years for this to happen. The LGBT community has lots of obstacles they must go through to get their issues addressed and hopefully eventually resolved. They have quite a few ways to get their issues out there, which include protests, rallies, advocates, and court hearings. Let's look at a few of these ways. My My oldest brother is gay. Up until 2015, he wasn't legally able to get married. That's the year that gay marriage became legal in the US. It took 40 years for this to happen. The LGBT community has lots of obstacles they must go through to get their issues addressed and hopefully eventually resolved. They have quite a few ways to get their issues out there, which include protests, rallies, advocates, and court hearings. Let's look at a few of these ways. Advocates are people who support and speak on behalf of a group of people. The LGBT community has advocates that represent them in court. The Human Rights Watch website states that we document and expose abuses based on sexual orientation and gender identity worldwide, including torture, killings, and executions, arrest under unjust law, unequal treatment, censorship, medical abuses, criminal discrimination in health and jobs and housing, domestic violence, abuse against children, and denial of family rights and recognitions. The court also plays a very big role in getting their issues noticed. For example, it took them 40 years of fighting in the courts to get gay marriage legal. The Atlantic Online website stated that Evan Wolfson said, "We've been fighting for the freedom to marry and for equal protection and equal rights and equal inclusion and equal responsibilities for decades. And we've been making that case in the court of public opinion alongside the case we're making in the court of law." Let's look at another important way they get their issues addressed. Riots, rallies, and protests are also a very important way they get issues noticed. For example, the Stonewall riot is a very important event to the LGBT community. It was when the police raided one of the gay clubs in New York on June 28, 1969. Let's look The Atlantic Online website stated the New York Post reported on June 28, 1969, that hundreds outside the bar had been observed yelling, "Gay power" and "We want freedom." I don't feel like this group should have to have advocates, rallies, protests, and riots to have equal rights. It is their constitutional right to have them. It's a virtuous cycle, Andrew Sullivan stated. The more we get married, the more normal we seem. The more normal we seem, the more human we seem. The more our equality seems obviously important. Since they've got their ways to get issues addressed, some issues have been resolved. Now, my brother is happily married and has been for about 2 years now.